A typical exercise dealing with quadratic equations usually goes something like this. They will give you a quadratic equation, you'll set it equal to 0, and to solve it you'll factor the quadratic and then use these individual factors to get your solutions. Like in this example, our solutions are 4 and 2. But in this video, I actually want to talk about something different than that. One particular type of question you'll see a lot in an algebra class is they will actually start you off with the solutions, and instead they will not give you the equation that it came from. And so let's talk about how we can take these solutions and kind of back trace our steps to see what quadratic equation yielded these two solutions here. And really most everything revolves around this one fact. See, if x equals c is a 0, if you know one of your zeros like 2 or 4, then you can actually figure out what your factors of the quadratic equation would have to be. Let's think about it. If 2 is a solution to the quadratic equation that's set equal to 0, then what would have to be this factor right here? Well, I think it would have to be x minus 2, because that's the only thing we could have such that if we plugged in 2, we would get 0. You'd have to have 2 minus 2 to give us 0. And what about the factor that gave us x equals 4 as a solution? Well, I think you'd agree this would have to be x minus 4. And so let's read this fact one more time. If x equals c is a 0 of the quadratic, like 2 or 4 for example, then x minus c would have to be one of the factors of the quadratic. And so what happens is we can build our factors for the quadratic equation by knowing what the solutions for the quadratic equation are. So once we have these factors, well, it's all downhill from there. Once we have the factors, we can FOIL them together. X times x would give us x squared. Minus 4x minus 2x would give us minus 6x. And then negative 2 times negative 4 would give us plus 8 equals 0. I just FOILed the two binomials. So you see, we can build our quadratic equation back up starting with the solutions. If x equals c is a 0, then x minus c is a factor. So we actually don't need to know what the quadratic equation was at the beginning. We can build that equation using the given solutions.